Welcome in. It is the ATB Show, atbshow.com. That's the page where all the social mediums are at, where you can find Rubber Shoes, his shirt. He haven't started a foot page yet. We're working on it. He's got shoe of the day, foot of the day, shirt of the day.
That's not OnlyFans.
The Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant. It's all over the place. Timmy checking in from beautiful downtown New Hampshire. Adam is in beautiful downtown Connecticut. That's how you spell it, actually.
Yep.
Pronounce it. I shouldn't say spell it. Well, it's how you spell it and pronounce it. Yeah, it's phonetical. And Rubber Shoes in the LA studios, which stands for the Lowell area, the whole Lowell area. In honor of Scotty Dukes, who is battling, mom has COVID-38. We don't know. Flu B. Who knows what it is? It's a potpourri of maladies. Yeah, it's a potpourri of maladies floating through the through the universe right now. So there's some sickness. There's some health. There's wisdom and wealth, and they're still married, which is good. The short people. He's got international calls going on with our dear friends at Bibbity Mutual, not a sponsor and probably not ever because I just made fun of their name.
Liberty Bibbity.
So he's not here, although Lucas Giolito might have spelled his name right. Doesn't matter if I did or not because he's already broken. Yeah, Rubbish is like, we should put Lucas Giolito in box number 4. I'm like, who's that? He goes, how do you not know who that is? Because
Cheryl will be disappointed in you.
Well, that started in October of 71. Come on now. But I, like John Henry, am not paying attention to the Red Sox.
Right.
That's why I didn't know who Lucas Giolito was. Yeah.
Who is? Rubber Shoes is rooting for the Dodgers. Who cares?
On the other side of all this, one whole other thing to discuss is I will be manipulating my iPad because I think we've gone dark here. We're at halftime out in Illinois.
Oh.
Or as our friends in Billerica would say, I'm going down cellar to go get some soda pop from DeMoulis's because I'm going to watch the lacrosse game in Illinois. When people say Illinois, I love that. It's my favorite.
Illinois, yeah.
Yes, they are. They're cradling their balls out in Illinois, and we're at halftime, and I think it's 8-3. But everything's gone dark. I'm screen mirroring from the iPad to the TV in my office, and everything's gone.
That's nice.
So
this is what, their 5th or 6th game, maybe?
We are on game 4.
Oh, game 4. Okay.
Right. Game 1, convincing win. Bubba got in the 4th quarter. Game 2, convincing win. He got in like end of 3rd and all the 4th quarter. Game 3 last year or 2 years ago in 22, they didn't play them last year. Game 3, they played Hope University, and that was a 12-10 loss 2 years ago. They won 9-8 in overtime.
Let's go.
But in a tight game, he didn't see any ice time. So 8-3 right now at halftime is good because if they keep stacking it up, Bubbits won't make it onto the field.
So I actually heard an interesting.
Now he's central casting for Gandalf on the sideline. Like with his long staff.
I heard an interesting thing about men's lacrosse in college today. So apparently, so there's all this talk around college football. I'm not following it closely, but about whether they should pay the players, whether they should. Some of the players are talking about they would unionize if they started getting paid, and all the media rights and all this stuff, right? So one of the things that probably everybody knows, which I sort of knew but had to be reminded today, is that college football, especially at the big schools, subsidizes a lot of the other sports because of how much money it brings in, right? Yep. So and what they were saying is in the way Title IX works is if they have, let's say, 50 scholarships for the football team, they then have to have the equivalent number for women, right? So if they have to offer 50 full scholarships to women for other sports, obviously not football. So the reason this ties back to lacrosse is that we're talking about.
Dude, I love this conversation. I'm here for it. Let's go 4 hours. Rubber Shoes is leaving in like 18 seconds, but keep going.
Okay,
finish your thought.
Let me wrap up.
He's melting right now.
Well, we'll have plenty of time for Lucas Giolito, all right? We'll have plenty of time for him.
Yeah.
I'll finish strong here. Okay. So the reason there are not that many men's lacrosse teams.
Yes.
Huh? Okay.
I was not rushing you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll slow down. The reason there are not that many men's lacrosse teams in colleges, there's not a lot of, in any division, there's not a lot of men's lacrosse teams, is because they're such large teams, and it would cost the universities significant amount of money in scholarships to bring in a quality lacrosse team, men's lacrosse team, but they would also have to then offer that many scholarships to women. So it basically, like what's a lacrosse team? 30 guys. So you basically then have 60 full ride scholarships that you have to offer. And so there aren't that many Division I or any divisions really. College lacrosse programs.
This is the verbal entanglement that you and I started at the end of the other show.
Yes.
Where I guarantee you we're on the same page. I know it sounds like we're not, because I think Title IX in this stage of America, because I love that you brought this up, because it reminded me something else that we can fight about before the show's over. I love you both. I missed you last week.
I love you
too. To me, Title IX is 4 scoops of bullshit right now in America, because there was an ad earlier, and Jenny and I saw it, and my head spun like Linda Blair and The Exorcist, you know. And it was just like, for the first time ever, the U.S. team for the Olympics will have the same amount of male and female athletes. And I'm brushing my teeth. I'm like, wrong, because I guarantee there's some crossover.
What do you mean crossover?
I guarantee there's some athletes that have crossed over.
Oh, I got you.
And that,
but Title IX's not associated
if we walk that back,
if
we're going to have an honest conversation.
Yeah.
If we're going to have an honest conversation, Title IX drives me bananas. And why? And don't forget, BC did have a lacrosse team. Bubba's the owner of Bubba's club team that he played youth lacrosse.
Yeah.
Obviously, he played the Black Bears, which was the feeder league for high school. And then we put him into a club team, which was the Hooligans.
Okay.
Owned by Sean Houlihan. Sean Houlihan graduated Boston College, played lacrosse.
Oh, nice.
Wells Crowther, the man in the red bandana at Boston College. The red bandana game. That's all about Wells Crowther. He played number 19 on BC men's lacrosse. Title 19 kicked in. They had to get rid of it. My argument is, let's get.
They had to get rid of the whole team.
Yeah, to make sure we had.
I don't know.
And you have to have an even amount of women's and men's sports. It's not really scholarship based. It's how many men's teams do you have? How many women's teams do you have?
Yeah.
So personally,
no, that's not exactly how it works. It's a huge financial component to it. It's not just like they need to have the same facilities. They need to have equal, like for instance, in basketball, if the men's team has a practice facility, the women have to have an equivalent practice facility. It doesn't have to be the same one, but it has to be the equivalent practice facility. But same number of teams, and also doesn't necessarily need to be the same teams either, right?
No. So what I would love, we're back on, and we're live. We're back. What I would love is for us to get rid of like the men's angry sailing team, because I feel like we have 4 sailing teams, right? I would love for us to bring back men's lacrosse.
BC has a lot of sailing teams,
especially where BC is in the ACC, and there's a lot of other lacrosse teams in the ACC. It would be great to bring back men's lacrosse at BC. All that aside, the Olympic comment was interesting. I also, at some point, before or after Rubber Shoes passes out, because we gotta talk about hockey and baseball, and he's gonna go blue in the face. I love you, buddy. I love you. I'm coming for you. Another huge conversation, and you'd know. I almost did some research. I'm like, why would I bother? I'm watching.
Why would you do that? I'll start now.
I'm like, no. I'm watching.
We're 180 episodes in. You haven't done it yet. We're good.
No, I can't.
We're on the phone.
No.
Thus,
I can't.
Lucas Giolito.
I can't cancel the show right now. No, we just won't have him back. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye, Gary. Anyway.
The front office has a new name. I like it.
Yeah, it's Gary from the other office. Yeah.
Gary from the front office.
My big boss from the other show. Yeah. So no, in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to ask you, because she's clearly going to set a new ceiling. How much is Caitlin Clark going to make when she goes to the WNBA? Because I think it's amazing, and it got lost in translation. And if people aren't listening closely this week, they're not paying attention to the fact that she has the Division I basketball scoring record.
Right.
And that's amazing. Now here comes Ricky Tikki-Tavi with his tight natty light shirt and his belt buckle. Yes, I know I'm picking on my voting block. And he marches in and he's like, bah, 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 but all the guys that didn't break the records because they left early because they can go get paid. Not my fault.
Right. No.
Just because you decided to do half a semester, Reggie, and escape for the pros, that's not Caitlin Clark's fault either.
No, of course not.
So I think, but my fear is she's going to get the WNBA and get like $17,000.
Well, here's the thing.
What's the ceiling? Who's the highest paid athlete?
A lot of people have been writing about this actually, because it's true. She will go. if it was just based on salary, she'll go to the WNBA and make way less than she could make in NIL sponsorships. But the fact is that now women's basketball has such a crossover interest that, the audience is growing so much that the sponsorships are following these players from college to the pros. So like Asia Wilson, for instance, they say she makes like $2 or $3 million, which still pales in comparison to what the NBA players are making. But compared to what she could make at college, it's equivalent to what she could have made at college if she was there when NIL existed. So Caitlin Clark's probably going to be, my guess would be she's going to be $10 million a year, around that ballpark that she's going to be making. Now her salary, the super max deal, which she's obviously not going to be on as a rookie, but a super max deal is like $280,000 in the WNBA, which is absurd. It's ridiculous. They're ESPN, ABC, all of these companies are promoting it and making tons of money off of the WNBA. Whether the audience is there or not, that's not for me to decide. They've decided that they want to put it out there and they want to support it. These women should be getting paid not what the men get paid. It's not the same. It's a shorter season. It's in the off season, so there's not as many eyeballs, but they should be getting paid what they're worth, and they're not. So it is unfortunate, but
there's a disparity versus what the networks are making and what they're getting paid. Sure. They probably don't have the same collective bargaining agreement that the NBA has. They haven't been around that long or long enough to fight for it. They haven't, and I'm saying this as heel in a shoe. They haven't dug their heels in, right? And had that fight. Rubber Shoes can't wait to talk, so I'm going to let Rubber Shoes talk because I saw him wince when you said they should be getting paid more. I agree with that, but like not if 4 people care. But you're starting to see these arenas fill up. You saw Caitlin Clark's. Right. Caitlin Clark is selling out better than some NBA teams. I mean,
like just to give you an example,
in to watch her play. And Travis Scott the other day was great. Did you see that?
Yes.
Where he posted a picture with her, and then she called the whole team over, and the whole crowd went crazy. I love the fact that she's bringing the team along for the ride.
Amazing.
She was at the Olympics. She would bring everybody up onto the podium with her, and she's a class act. And she's 22, so it doesn't.
Honestly, it's unfortunate that the women's Olympic team didn't put her on the team. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Stunning.
Why wouldn't you put her on the team? But besides that, I want to say one thing. So just to give you some context on her impact, what's going to happen, I think, in the WNBA when she comes over. So as soon as she announced for the WNBA, I'm like, all right, let me check out when the Indiana Fever are coming to Connecticut for a Connecticut Sun game. So I went.
Has she already been drafted? Oh, I apologize.
No, she hasn't been. But the number 1 pick is in the Indiana Fever. They've already publicly said
how do you not?
They're going to pick her. And
Sure.
So I went, and the tickets are literally over $100 for the nosebleed seats in Mohegan Sun. And you can buy tickets. You know, the tickets aren't that expensive for the WNBA. They're like
when
15,
$20
when you
and the girls go. When you and the girls go, are you getting like floor seats for $75 or what's happening?
No, I mean, not quite that, but we're getting, first of all, it's pretty Mohegan Sun Arena, so it's much smaller. And secondly, it's maybe $25 a ticket if you want good seats. If you want the nosebleeds, you can get them for like 15. So they're really reasonably priced.
Sure.
So we can go to a game for under $100. Now, if I want those same tickets to go see Caitlin Clark when she comes to town, each ticket is $100. So now it's going to be $400.
It's 4 before parking.
Right.
And Dad, Mohegan's free parking. Dad, I want a Caitlin Clark shirt.
Yes, exactly.
You're getting out of the $2,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Unless Mama goes cold at the tables.
That would be the biggest problem, really.
Do you guys gamble?
No, God, no.
We just got back. The company obviously was in Vegas. The armpit of America. It really is.
Do you gamble? You don't really gamble that much, right?
I'm not a gambler. I'm in the middle of Lent. Nate's losing his mind because I'm lenting. So I'm not drinking.
You're not drinking?
I'm not gambling. Yeah, with the Vegas ran out of prostitutes. It was terrible. Yeah, no fun was had by anybody. But anyway,
man.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're still eating because there's a lot of good food in Vegas.
Vegas was phenomenal. We went to this Momofuku, Momofuku. David Chang is the chef. He opened his first one in New York. There's one in Vegas. We went there. Lights out. Out. Punch you in the face. Good. We had a lot of good food. Yes, for sure.
And I like him. Have you seen his Netflix show?
No. Oh.
Yeah, he's got a live Netflix show that he does where it's like a cooking show, and he's got 2 celebrities. They sit there and they just bullshit for like an hour while he cooks.
He's awesome. Yeah. I love him. Rubber Shoes.
Rubber Shoes is here.
Tell us why we should care about Lucas Giolito.
Oh, you don't have to now.
No, I know, but talk to me. You were so mad I didn't know who he was. Go ahead.
Well, it was the only move they made in the offseason, so I figured you should know that one move that they actually did make.
I couldn't pay less attention to them right now. I couldn't.
Same.
And I'm trying to brace Cheryl. Cheryl's like, she's like, it's my summer. I put them on every night. I'm like, all right, it's going to be terrible. Yeah. So, you just put the Zabruta film on with the sound off and run it backwards.
So after my tirade a few weeks ago I've actually, now that they have the spring training games are on TV now, I'm getting sucked in again.
Oh no! Yeah, notice. Adam, he can't hear this. Did you notice he's not wearing the Dodger stuff?
I did notice that. What happened?
Wait, because I don't want to order.
I thought he'd be wearing Lakers from the '80s, but I guess not.
Yeah.
I didn't want to order a shirt. I was waiting for it. So the Burlington Mall has a Lids locker room, and
are you going in there on foot?
Yeah.
All right.
How else do you go to the mall?
On foot.
Lids.com.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to
civilize people.
I don't
curbside at least. Yeah. Do you do curbside?
I don't like buying.
What are we doing?
I like to try on my stuff to make
his
sure
wares.
It fits the right.
Can you see
different jerseys fit
so that room? And he does a little spin.
Like the pretty woman,
and
montage.
Steps like this. Go ahead.
Because that Jerry Rice jersey was a 2XL. A lot of the jerseys I wear are XL, so I like to try them on before. And they don't have any Ohtani stuff for the Dodgers yet. So
Where's the Jerry Rice jersey? You bought a Jerry Rice jersey?
Of course,
I wore it during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
The show before the Super Bowl.
Oh, I missed that one. I'm sorry.
All in. He's all in. He's all in.
Oh, so I like to try even T-shirts and stuff. If it's something I really like and I can't find a place to go try it on myself, I will buy one online. But most of the time, I like to be able to try it because every shirt, jersey, hat, they all fit a little different. Even if you could try on 5 different 7 1/4 hats and they all fit different.
So if you go to a Jerry, if you go to get a Jerry Rice jersey, and it doesn't fit, right? Or you go up one size, go down one size, whatever. And they don't have the size that you need to go up to. Would you then buy it online?
Not necessarily.
Oh,
sometimes. Well, so if it's something I really wanted, I tried on like a similar jersey in the size, then I know, okay, this is the same brand, same company that's making it, the exact same thing, try it on and be like, okay, I need this size, then I would order it. But usually I can find something. When I got the Jerry Rice jersey, I went in there for a Joe Montana, but they only had smalls in Joe Montana. So I was looking for a McCaffrey. They didn't have any of those, so then I went with the Jerry Rice.
I know what I'm about to say is going to make my uterus show, but I'm going to say it anyway. So you guys have probably all heard there's a company that girls at my office will use when we have like big events and stuff like that. We just had a post-holiday party at late January. It's our awards. It's a big, it's like our award show. It's black tie and dresses and all that stuff. And a lot of the girls will use Rent the Runway.
Oh,
so I think Rubber Shoes, we might be onto something. I think we start a company.
Oh, let's go.
We brand a company for you. It's called Sample the Sideline. So when you
Amazon
pick out a jersey, they're going to send you the medium, the large, and the extra fat, and then you can try all 3 on. Whichever one fits, you send the other 2 back.
Yeah, I love it.
You wear it for its stated purpose. If you want to keep it, you can do like a Kmart layaway, maybe pay for it all at once. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you're struggling with
Kmart layaway.
Yeah.
Now your age is showing, man.
I'm happy to pay you $2.
Does Kmart even exist anymore?
Kmart. I don't know. I think they're right next to Modell's at the Burlington Mall.
I think you're right.
Jesus Christ. Picking on me. He's marching on foot into brick and mortar malls, and you're picking on me. I'm coming with goddamn websites. Call me old.
Timmy's
I'm coming with goddamn websites. Call me old.
Timmy's buying a Cabbage Patch doll on layaway at Kmart.
Yeah, Child World. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
I do everything I possibly can not to shop in store. If a store has any chance that I can order it online, even if I have to go pick it up, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
4,000%. I hate
4,000%. I love that Rubber Shoes has the affinity for it, though. I love that you're into it.
Yep.
It's a man of the people.
Yep. Gotta keep those
Rubber
malls
Shoes, did
in
any
business.
Speaking of people coming to see, well, not really coming to see you going to see them. Did anybody come and shake your hand and let you kiss their babies at the event last weekend?
Not at the trade show.
Okay.
Oh my God, what happened?
What?
When I was at the gym on Monday morning, someone approached me and said, "Do you have a podcast?"
Did you sign somebody? Did you sign somebody's chest?
No.
Oh.
What was his name?
My brother sent me a clip, and the brother and sister both go to the gym at the same time I go every morning.
Yes.
I love all of this.
That's amazing. So did you talk to him for a few minutes, or were you like, I don't know, this guy's weird?
A little bit.
New.
No, I converse with people if they approach me. I don't approach other people.
You talk to your fans. Okay, got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Did they see were you driving the van that was parked out front with your picture on it?
Oh my God, it's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. No, Timmy, we talked about it last week. We talked about him going. He had a where was it? Marlboro.
Yeah,
a trade show in Marlboro for AAA work trucks, which we didn't mention at the top of the show, so we'll give him a mention now. And we were talking about if you're stopping by, you should stop by and say hello to Rubber Shoes and get him to kiss your baby and shake your hand.
I love all this.
So, but I guess you got accosted in the gym instead.
Yeah, I love that.
That's amazing.
Also slightly dangerous.
It's only been 3 years, but we finally got people.
I think he read the Lowell Sun article from our last podcast. That's where he recognized you from.
Yeah. It only took us 16 years, but somebody noticed one of us.
Yeah.
And even when they found Rubber Shoes, they still weren't sure.
They weren't sure. Yeah. You have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's like a 95% chance of a yes.
If you put it on the teleprompter, he will read it. I'm Ron Burgundy. Do you have a podcast? Yeah. I love that.
Oh
That's
God,
awesome.
Maybe they're watching right now. So
maybe. Well, hello, Jim Rat. Hello.
Alive and well. Yeah. Best Fitness in Chelmsdale, right?
Yes.
Oh, is that where you go?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Spread the word.
Yep. I probably shouldn't have given that away. Now you're going to be signing autographs all morning. Yeah.
I'll 4:30. Get my workout in.
I pulled a lat because I was cooling down in between sets, signing babies. I love it. Love it so much.
Oh my God! What time are you at the gym that you're running into people?
I thought
you went super early, huh?
Yeah, 5 in the morning.
Oh,
do you think I'm the only one in there?
Man, I'm just going to bed at 5
like
in the morning.
You slide your card and you go in. It's open 24 hours.
No. I
Okay.
wish, because I'd be there at 4:30.
Oh my God.
Oh my! They open at 5.
There's probably 20 to 30 vehicles waiting for them to open the door
at 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I'm pretty sure the majority of those people, if it opened at 4, we'd be there at 4.
What's on the routine, Rubber Shoes? Are you a weights guy, or are you like a cardio guy? What are you doing?
So last year I Tim said the 2,200 miles. So this year I've upped my own personal goal. I want to do 3,000 miles on a bike. So I include this stationary bike at the gym. So
love it.
I at least log, 2 to 6 miles a morning on the bike at the gym.
Damn.
And then, so I'm trying. I want to get over 3,000. I think I ended up with like close to 2,400 miles last year.
That's a big jump, though.
Yeah,
that's a big jump.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that hard as long as the weather. Last year, the weather was pretty bad during the spring and summer, so I didn't get a lot of days. So I'm kind of hoping that I should be able to go out starting this weekend. I could have went a couple days ago, but I don't think my I got to check my tire pressure because during the winter it probably went down a little bit. So I got to see if it's ready to go. But I think I can start logging street miles, and once I get out on the street path, I can do 20 miles a morning.
Wow. So will that replace your gym time?
So yeah. So what happened last year when I rode my bike, I didn't go to the gym and like I still like to do some lifting. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do all the miles in the morning and just try and hit the gym at night to get just maintain the lifting part. Cause I went like months without lifting and I definitely could tell. So I want to either end of the gym. So I go where the gym is to start riding. So it's like I can give up a couple miles and end a little earlier and go into the gym and do a quick 20 minutes in there before I go home.
When you're fully suited up going into a fire, how much does all that equipment weigh?
I think it's like 80 pounds.
Damn.
I was so way off. I was going to say like 40.
I think with the tank, the helmet, and the bunker gear, and that's just the gear. That doesn't include like I carry tools in my pockets and stuff too.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure. I know they told us at during the academy when we went, it was like 75, 80 pounds. I believe everything on.
Like in a month, how often are you going into a fire, into like a burning building?
My group has been on a real dry spell. It's weird.
Oh.
We have one group 2 has had a bunch of fires in the last 6 months. I haven't had I've had a couple small ones where, we get there, get it out like really quick.
Those were in the kitchen, burgers and tots.
Yeah.
That's just when he's cooking.
Like, I haven't dressed up and gone into a building in a couple of years.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Good. Let's keep it
going. I know.
Yeah, definitely keep it that way.
It's boring. Like, I like doing what I'm supposed to do, but
sure. Yeah, I get that. Do you train? But you must train though, on a regular basis, right?
We do. So actually, so I worked yesterday. I worked yesterday, and we had to do it. They had a confidence course that they set up that you go through. You get all suited up, and you got to go through like different obstacles that they set up, that things that could happen in a real fire. So you just to go train on the stuff that you learn.
Yep.
And I tell you, the academy's great because they make you do so many things over and over and over again. It's like even, I'm 16 years in and things just is like muscle memory. Still, you just know you remember how to do it when it comes time to do it.
Did you see Jason Kelce jumping through a burning table?
No.
When was this?
I must have missed that one because I've seen a lot of his clips over the last
retirement party
couple months.
No, it was he had made a bet with Bills fans.
Was it in Buffalo?
Yeah.
It wasn't in Buffalo, but he did it in Philadelphia. But I thought of you because the fire marshal, like he did it all safe and everything because he was shooting it for whatever charity or something. But the fire marshal was there, he was taking care of everything, and he jumped off a fire truck onto the table. It was interesting. You'll have to look it up.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll look that up.
But we're 30 minutes in, and we haven't talked about the Boston sports scene yet, so maybe we should.
Let's do that.
Talked about Lucas Giolito.
True.
I obviously was watching the news last night. I checked on the Bruins a couple of times. That was annoying. And I also got wind from Francis out in his studio that the Celtics were collapsing. So I decided not to go over there. What in the hell happened? What in the hell happened?
I'm going to say, I've gone through maybe the 12 stages of grief today. I don't know how many stages there are, but I've gone through quite a few stages of grief today. And first of all, I was angry last night because I was like so pissed off. Like, how did we lose to this team? They didn't have Donovan Mitchell, and honestly, we should beat that team. They're not that good. And I'm jinxing myself because we'll probably play them in the playoffs, and then we'll probably get waxed. But But I've come around to the fact that, we've lost 13 games this season, and every once in a while you're going to have a stinker. And honestly, it sucks because they were up 22. It's a winnable game. They should have probably won it. But you ran into Dean Wade, who knocked down, I think he knocked down like 8 3-pointers or something in the fourth quarter.
20 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's not going to score 20 points against us the next time. Now, they will have Donovan Mitchell next time, but I just felt like they let down. They were like, oh, they don't have Donovan Mitchell. We're up 22. We're just going to let our foot off the gas. And I'm writing it off, and we'll see what happens. And hopefully there's no hangover to the Nuggets game tomorrow night.
Well, this seems to be a problem with them because they lost to the Lakers when they didn't have LeBron and AD playing. It seems when we play teams that don't have their stars, they have a letdown. Well, they may still win, but it's like a game that's way closer than it should be, or they end up losing to the team like happened last night and against the Lakers. But I think it's just that they're trying to conserve during games like that. I mean, you figure they just won 11 in a row, so it's it's not panic time. They're gonna have a couple hiccups here and there, and they'll probably have hiccups in the playoffs. I hope they don't have what they've done in the past where they go 7 games against the Atlanta Hawks. It's like they need to finally step up to that level where you're sweeping these teams that they should be killing. They just sweep them out of the playoffs and get as much rest as possible for the games where you're playing the good teams.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you 100%. And also, the thing is that you win 11 games in a row. Isn't it human nature to just let your foot off the gas? And I think that's what happened last night. I think they were like, Denver's coming up. We see them in our, in the windshield, and we're looking ahead to them, I think. And, every sports show led with the Celtics in their collapse last night. And if you look at the Nuggets lost in overtime last night too. A very winnable game for them. Why were we not? Is it just because they've won a championship? That's what drives me nuts. It's like they won a championship, so we're going to give them a pass.
Did they blow a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left to play?
No, but, I mean,
that could be why.
Maybe.
The Celtics are by far, they're out of the whole league, the closest team is, I think, 8 games behind them or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 8 or 7. I'd have to look it up.
7.5.
The Bucks are 7.5 back.
Do you think it is a piece of them sort of trying to do like the load management without actually doing the load management, where they're laying up a little bit, but they let it get away from them? And above and beyond that, is this good because it puts a little scare in them, or is it really bad for their psyche that they walked away last night and they're like, we really fucked up? Like,
I think as long as they keep the best record and keep home court advantage throughout the playoffs, which I think in the past it really hasn't mattered. It's like I think they probably had almost a worse record at home during the playoffs the last few seasons, like, if not worse, they're close to worse or pretty even. But this year they definitely hit they've lost 3 games at home this year.
3.
The problem is
right.
the 3 games they've lost have all been West Coast teams that they may play in the finals, so that's the only problem with that. But I just think it's at this point of the season, they're like, I'm the same way. I just want the playoffs to start.
Right. Same.
We're healthy. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's start playing games that really matter. Just don't lose the home court advantage. Let's stay the number 1 seed throughout. That's all I want.
Honestly, it would have to be the biggest collapse in NBA history if they did not get the first place, be the number 1 team. I mean, they're up 7.5 games on the second place team with 20 games to go. I mean, they'd really have to dive. And honestly, if that happened, I might as well just not even watch the playoffs, because they would be in such a tailspin that there's no chance they would even win. You're such negative momentum at that point that you might as well fold it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I think that sky is falling stuff. But I personally, the only thing that drove me nuts, and I know this is like the constant refrain from, all the people that don't believe in the Celtics. The only thing that drove me nuts last night was down the stretch, we just didn't get decent shots. And that was it. It's not that sometimes you go cold. It happens. You lose a game. It's okay. But we didn't really, that shot that Tatum took at the end of the game, you're 7 inches taller than Darius Garland. There's no way you should have been shooting like a fadeaway from 15 feet. There's no way. Like, at a minimum, you should drive into him. I would rather have seen him end the game on an offensive foul because he was trying to bowl the guy over than fade away from the basket on a ridiculous shot.
That's what he does. If every end of the game shot, he either takes a step back 3 or a fall away jumper. And the game that it wasn't the Golden State game. I think it was the game before where I can't remember who they were playing, but the team was hanging around, and then finally it was almost like Jason Tatum said, "You know what? I'm sick of this team hanging around. I'm gonna start dominating this game." And he took over the game, and he went to the hole a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
And he can go to the hole anytime he wants. For some reason, at the end of the game, when it's a game winner or a game tire, he always wants to go with that step back or a fall away.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. I know, and obviously it drives you nuts too, Adam.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. Like, he could go to the hole and hopefully get a dunk, get a foul called. There's much more that can happen positive by going to the hole than the opposite.
Right. And honestly, I go back to, it's just like, just from a size standpoint, he's so much bigger, even than Jarrett Allen, who helped over on him. I mean, he's not taller than Jarrett Allen, but he's definitely bigger and stronger than Jarrett Allen. So just go through him. Like, okay, so you go through him, they're not going to end the game on an offensive foul. You almost never see that. It's just not going to happen. They're going to give the defender a foul, and you're going to go to the basket. He allowed Darius Garland. I mean, I think Darius Garland probably fouled him very lightly, though. They're going to overturn that every time. There was barely any evidence of a foul. So I don't know. I just thought it was a terrible
on possession. The shot. There wasn't like him kick. Yes, he did kick his foot out, and but before he took the shot, they were grabbing and holding him. They're playing him really aggressive lately. I've noticed that the last 2-3 weeks, the opposite team has been playing him really aggressive, grabbing him, holding him, pulling him, and they're not giving him any calls. And he's getting frustrated, which is, I think, a good thing. I want him to get pissed off and get that Kobe killer instinct.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I think that he doesn't have, is he's such a nice guy, and like a ho hum at the end, what that happens, and he's like, I want to see the Michael Jordan, Kobe killer instinct come out in him, and I think that propels the team to the next level.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, I think Giannis suffered from this a little bit before they won their championship. He's like a nice guy, bigger than everybody, stronger than everybody, but he just didn't finish games, though, with that killer mentality. And then he stepped that level up of his intensity, and that's when they won the title. Was it 21? So, I think Tatum needs that. I think Brown has that. I really do. Yeah. I think Brown has that. Doesn't have the amount of skill that Tatum has, but Brown has that killer instinct, and he never takes the last shot. Like, if they gave him the last shot,
he probably dribble off his foot.
He might, but I mean, he never gets a chance to prove, and he's the guy who does do that bully ball all the time. He does take it personally. He screams in people's faces. He's got that intensity that Tatum, you just don't see from him. Tatum is very finesse, very much like, I'm going to hit this step back 3 in your face, which is great, but at some point you need a guy who's just going to attack the rim, and he did not do that last night. He hasn't done that in big spots, and I hope that somewhere he watches film and goes, I need to start attacking the rim. So we'll see. I don't know what we do against Denver, but it's going to be interesting. That's for sure.
Well, that's another problem with the NBA. There's so many of these matchups that come up that you're like looking forward to, and then you don't get all the players to play.
Yeah, I know.
Like
not everybody's playing against Denver?
What's that?
No, not everybody's playing against Denver?
We won't know until that night.
Until the night of. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, last night, I know Donovan Mitchell's been out a couple games, so it wasn't something that just creeped up.
Let me bitch about something that's non-basketball related, but related to the Cleveland game. So Donovan Mitchell was hurt last night, obviously, and the NBA on TNT put him on to talk to him during the game.
Yeah,
I was so irritated by that. First of all, I hate that they now pull the players aside at the end of the half. I hate that. Get away with that. Do away with that. It's terrible. These guys are running up and down the floor. Half the time they can barely breathe when they're talking to you. They're sweating all over the microphone. It's disgusting. Then he's injured on the sideline, and you're going to put a headset on the guy? Like, first of all, as a Celtics fan, I don't want to hear from the guy. I mean, I actually happen to like Donovan Mitchell a lot, but I'm like, shut him up. I don't want to hear him talk.
You need to stream NBC Sports Boston.
Well, unfortunately, because the only way I get those games, I have League Pass, so they only if it's on TNT, I have to watch it on TNT. Unfortunately, but because I would absolutely watch it on NBC Sports Boston over TNT for sure. But it was just annoying. I hate all of this where they're interviewing the players at halftime. They're interviewing them in between the quarters. And in college sports, it's even worse. I mean, they're interviewing people all the time. And these poor kids are like, I just need to go listen to my coach.
Now, do you watch other games other than the Celtics?
On League Pass? Sometimes. They're not always. I mean, it's got to be a good matchup. I'm not trying to watch like a Grizzlies Hornets game.
Just getting NBC Sports Boston to see if
do they have a streaming? Do they have a streaming?
I stream them all the time.
Yeah, but that's because you have what, like Comcast or something?
Yeah, but there's got to be other, like, same with Nesson. Like Nesson, if you have the cable, you get it for free, but you can also get it outside of there. I mean, NBC Sports. So on the NBC Sports app, like, I can get other teams that play on NBC Sports, like Minnesota or whatever, like any NBC. But
if he doesn't have a provider, that's what Adam's saying. If he doesn't have a provider, he's not going to be able to stream it.
But if you can pay for it, like, you might be able to get it cheaper than League Pass and be able to get all the Celtics games if that's all you're looking for.
Oh, maybe. I'll have to look for that. I'll have to look at that, Rubber Shoes. That's a good suggestion. I mean, League Pass is cool because you do get the the All-Star game content and stuff like that. I split it with another guy, so it's like $150 for the season. If I split it with somebody else.
Say that over the air?
Yeah.
Well, you get two licenses.
Two households.
$150. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm not doing anything illegal.
He just made that up.
So is that $75 a month or for the whole season?
Oh no, for the whole season.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not bad.
I'm splitting it with a Detroit Pistons fan, by the way. So, no, I'm just kidding.
His name's William Lambia.
I thought you were going to say William Corey.
That's what I thought too.
Oh God, spare us.
So I would say, when do we have to do? When do we have to do predictions do we have to predict whether they're gonna finish in first place? Should we just say that, or what do you want me to do?
That's done at the beginning of before the season.
We did our predictions way back when. I don't know if anybody.
We have to do predictions for the Red Sox, how many games they're gonna lose. I mean,
we're doing how many they're gonna lose.
We're not close to game one yet, though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like
since they
less than
lost
2 weeks away.
Giolito,
I think.
Lucas Giolito.
We're definitely under 20 wins, I think, this season.
Oh boy.
No, they're not that bad.
Oh my! Listen to him.
Rubber Shoes. He's starting to get optimistic.
They're not that bad.
He saw a little Florida sunshine, and now he's like,
Well,
it's
be honest. Be honest.
wins.
And if you can't be honest, bring your wife in. Be honest. Have you already bought tickets? Have you already bought tickets? Answer the question, Senator.
No, we will not. Although I was intrigued.
Although I did buy season tickets.
No, they were talking about this on one of the radio shows. Like, oh, you know what Fenway should do? They should do like $1 hot dogs. I'm like, oh, if they do $1 hot dogs, I might go to the game.
Oh my god, bro! You can get a package of 10 for $4.
I can't. I can't with this kid.
Although they're not the same Fenway Franks as
nitrate
before.
Sticks, but you're still not worried about the product on the field.
Well,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Eating outside, I could have like 10 hot dogs.
The lanai.
Eating you can eat a hot dog while you're straddling your strawberry. Come on.
It's the ambiance you get with it.
What are we doing?
Why don't you go to the Worcester Red Sox at least? Then you can get a hot dog and you can enjoy actual baseball.
But you got rubber shoes, double fisting nitrate sticks because they're on sale and he had a coupon. He's jammed in, not because he's overweight. He's as svelte as fuck, but he's jammed into the seat because they were built in 1911 before food happened, right? So he's jammed into the seat. He's got Tyler to his left. Tyler's 6'9", right? Steph's to his right, but the whole family's double fisting because we're at $6, don't mind you, right?
Right.
And then you get some Ricky Ticky Tabby in front of him, laughing with his buddies, spilling beers. There's your outside dining. There's your ambiance. Some Tony bag of bologna from Everett, like, yeah, guy.
Yeah,
and
guy.
He's only there because his buddy got tickets.
No, he's there for the $1 hot dogs too.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Well, I guess there's a reason they do $1 hot dogs. It brings people in.
Some $10 bleacher seats and some $1 hot dogs.
But can we skate back to the puck? Where are you hearing about this rumored $1 hot dog?
No,
what Reddit channel are you on?
Talking.
What are we doing?
No, they were talking
time?
about it on because it's.
He goes into the mall. He's not on Reddit. Let's be honest.
They definitely.
This is the hubbub going on at the Orange Julius in the food court.
They definitely need to figure out a way to sell tickets in April and May.
Okay.
So that's what the radio show I was listening to. They're like, oh, they should do a $1 hot dog day or something like that.
No, April and May.
That's where it came. I doubt they're gonna do it, but
April and May, college students should be $1. That's how you load it up.
I know that they definitely get a discounted.
They should just make it $1.
So the problem with that, because Tyler's girlfriend goes to UMass Boston, and they advertise going to the Red Sox game. The thing with those, they're cheap tickets, but you have to go day of game and wait in line to buy them. You can't get them ahead of time on like through any Ticketmaster or anything like that. You have to get them day of.
I appreciate that, but the kids from Wentworth, Northeastern, BU, that would plow in there.
Oh yeah,
on a Thursday, Friday night for $1, bang that place out like a nightclub. You at least have and some of
the
this
ambiance.
Osmosis,
hot dogs.
the ambiance, some of this energy would play well on television, and people are like, yeah. And my buddy Rubber Shoes said they have $1 nitrate sticks. Maybe we'll go. Hey, Margaret, grab your pocketbook. We're heading down to Boston, Yeah. Like, what are we doing? I love that all of the inequities that we have on the field right now. And you're just like, but I heard they might have $1 hot dogs.
$1 hot dogs, dude. We got to go.
Suddenly it's a Cumby's with a baseball team,
So
holy shit.
Their lineup isn't that bad.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
They
also, you can name the show Cumby's with a hot dog. I mean, Cumby's with a baseball team. I love it. Oh my God, Rubber Shoes.
I mean, last year their scoring wasn't that bad. It was their pitching. Like if they didn't win 7-6, if their bats went cold for a few games and they could only get 1 or 2 runs, they were losing 5-2. But
yeah, and their number 1 pitching prospect just went down in spring training.
Not a prospect. He was
Or free agent signing. Sorry.
Agent. But I'm hopeful, very little hopeful, that this means they'll have to go out. There's still 2 big free agent pitchers on the market right now, Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery. And maybe they go out and get one of those guys now because they need starting pitching really bad. They were borderline, had a little depth before the Giolito got hurt. Now right now they're looking at Bayo, Cutter Crawford, Josh Winkowski, Tanner Houck, Garrett Whitlock. I think that's what they're looking at for their starting 5. And Houck and Whitlock haven't really shown that they could be starters and go, 5 innings. So it's it's going to be interesting.
I love it. You have like rooting whiplash. Like 2 weeks ago, you were ready to root for the Dodgers for the rest of the season.
I'm a little disappointed in myself because I thought I was gonna stay strong at least through opening day.
Wow.
But the first spring training, you know what? Part of it is, I have a cousin lives out in New Mexico. She sometimes watches the show. Hello, Robin.
Rubber Shoes brings in all the audience.
She's a huge Red Sox fan, and we were, I think, the first spring training game.
She's not catching tonight's show. She's at the Quick Stop picking up a hot dog. But go ahead.
So we were talking back and forth about it, and I was like getting a little optimistic. And her and her family are driving out here the end of April, I believe. And so this is how much of a fan she is. And her husband is from the Chicago area. Actually, I think he's from Michigan, but he's a Chicago Cubs fan.
Same thing.
The Red Sox are playing the Chicago Cubs the day before they were planning on being here, but they're going to try. I think she already bought tickets, so they're going to maybe do a couple extra hours a day of driving to get here the day before so they can go to Fenway and see the Red Sox Cubs.
Plus, it's $1 hot dog night, so you got to make it an extra night.
Maybe they'll do that just for them, and then I'll go.
Oh my God! Oh, and then I'll go. Then he's in.
all joking aside, do you guys ever remember going to Fenway? It was like probably 20 years ago now, but they used to do after the game. If you showed your ticket at Boston Billiards around the corner, they'd do $1 hot dog, $1 beer. You guys ever remember doing that?
Not really.
I did that.
I did that a handful of times on Lansdowne Street after a game. I don't think I don't think I ever have gone to Lansdowne Street after a game.
Isn't it called Jersey Street now or something like that? What's it called?
No, that's Yawkey Way.
You're thinking of
Yawkey Way. That's right.
Yawkey's up here. Lansdowne is below with the parking behind the Monster.
Right. Lansdowne's behind the Monster.
Yeah.
My mistake.
The only time I remember taking a ticket and handing it in, you'll love this. There's an entertainment complex in Providence that on any given day, if you have a Boston sports ticket, you have a Boston sports ticket, they will let you in. The cover is waived. Everything else is expensive, but the cover is waived.
You get legs and eggs there?
Because, this is a great story. So the year, was it the second? It would have been the second World Series. The one against the Rockies. The one against the Rockies?
2007.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That Sunday that we swept the Rockies, am I right? Did we sweep the Rockies?
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, Sunday night that we swept the Rockies, we beat the Redskins 54-0.
Oh.
And I forget who was with me at the game. And I love my marriage and I will stay married. My wife will always get the truth eventually. So I had Janina convinced that we were watching the Red Sox game in the parking lot, partying with everybody. Where we were was at...
Oh, no.
We were in a warmer climate in Providence.
Sure.
Yeah, so 54-0
in the shower
over the Redskins.
Or no?
Nope, 54-0 over the Redskins. Okay. Drove south, got into the entertainment complex, and we were sitting upstairs watching the Red Sox beat the Rockies and doing that while people were handing out $1 hot dogs. I guess we'll use that euphemism. Yeah. I got a couple of hot dogs. I got my wiener heated up that night. Yeah.
Oh my, that was a long road, but it was worth it.
It was a long road. Robert Frost. I took the wiener less traveled by. And it made all the difference. Oh my God! For Joe and Leslie and our friends at AAA Work
yes, put them right next to that comment. Yep.
If you're looking to shank a Frank to or fro, they've got a vehicle for it. If it goes in, on, or around a truck, and if it's parked at the gym.
Oh, yes.
He might be flexing inside.
Once in a while, it gets parked at the gym.
I love all of this. You should have one with you on the side just doing the the Hulk Hogan.
And it just says next to you, I might have a podcast.
Yep. Quiet, I'm steaming my Franks indoors. I love all of this. Steaming
my Franks.
Look at the timing. We're wrapping up the show. Bubba and his boys out at Lake Forest just wrapped up a 15-8 win.
Let's go.
All is well.
Did he get to play?
Janina just texted me. He got in for a fleeting moment in the fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. As a freshman, he's not going to get a lot of ice time, unfortunately. They're 4-0. We'll take it.
Let's go.
We'll take it. Yeah, they won the conference last year, so they got rings last year. So he would love to do that again.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool in his freshman year to get some hardware. So, we get Scotty back next week.
It's a 50-50 proposition at this point.
Are you going for Wednesday next week?
We are. Well, yeah, I think we're headed for Wednesday next week. I believe so.
I'm at the fire station, so I'm a
we can see what works best for everybody.
Yes,
we can see what works best for everybody. We'll be back next week for Rubber Shoes in the Lowell area. Adam in Connecticut, Scotty Dukes infirmed, and for me and beautiful. See how that worked? That's why you keep me around. It's not about the research. It's about the witty quips.
Well, if it was about the research, you would have been fired months ago.
And we have the Shamrock microphone in place for the spring.
I love it.
And for St. Patrick's Day.
It's amazing.
And for me in beautiful downtown Portsmouth, we appreciate you watching. We'd love for you to comment and share and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be back at it. For Joe and Leslie, our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks, we thank them for tolerating our stupidity. And if I'll leave you with this great story. My dad had always said, my parents' first date, you guys know this, my parents' first date was a BC football game. Yeah. And this was back in the day when the guys still wore like suits and ties to the game, and my mom was probably like in a mini skirt, like in a poodle skirt, like Happy Days,
Order hot
and
dog.
my dad claims the only reason he brought it to the game was so she could hold his hot dogs. And he pluralized it because he's a decent man, of course. But
of course.
My parents' first date, and you'll love this. Even the 22 was even in the score. I'm gonna forget the date. It was my dad's freshman year, so it would have been fall of 60. BC over Villanova 22-6.
Let's go.
Crazy, right? Yeah. So when people are like,
the
why
rest
are you a
is
BC
history.
fan? Because I've been there my whole life, even in utero. I'll leave it. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. Because I don't do any goddamn research. We'll see you next week. ATBshow.com. Take care.